Force is with me. I am one with the Force. What is up, you guys? I just got done watching the first episode for The Mandalorian. Thanks for being with me. This first part here is going to be spoiler free. I'm going to put it on my Instagram account so you guys don't want to be spoiled, can talk about it. So let's start with the spoiler free discussion. First, I want to talk about the Disney Plus. Any of you guys that are debating it, just kind of scrolling through the Disney Plus, it has a lot, man. Not only do you have all the Star Wars, all the Marvel, all the Disney, movies we all grew up with, but there's a lot of stuff I wasn't even thinking about, like things like Parent Trap are in there, like the second Lion King, which I haven't gone back to in so long, but like there's just a lot of stuff you wouldn't be thinking about. So if you've even been questioning your decision, you should definitely get it. The Mandalorian, guys, it was awesome. Like, you absolutely want to watch this series. It's everything we were thinking it was going to be, mature Star Wars content. And even for me, someone like myself that's really enjoyed, Disney era Star Wars in terms of the sequel saga, this show really made me look at some things a bit differently and see what some of the people that have had their frustrations, what they were saying. Not that I didn't hear them before, but watching this, you really see this is the direction that, a lot of people would like Star Wars to go in. So to me, this was a rock solid episode, 9 out of 10. I really enjoyed it. I'm super pumped for Friday when the next one comes out. But again, this just really gives you a great foundation of the character that we're following, the Mandalorian, and kind of what we can look forward to in the series. But that's the end of this. I'm not going to get into any spoilers now. If you want to check out the spoiler-free part of this video, make sure you check out my YouTube page, CoachChrisGeek'd. Alright, now, it's time to get into the spoilers, man. Like, this episode was awesome. Like, great Star Wars. Did a great job of just introducing us to the Mandalorian, what he's able to do, as a bounty hunter. There's so much to get into, man. But first I want to talk about one of the things I mentioned in my spoiler-free part where I brought up that I could see where the Disney aura is over like the sequel trilogy, more so than what people might like. And what I mean by that is, I guess a good example is like all the characters here, a lot of Star Wars people use the phrase like the world is lived in. And the way I'm going to explain that to you guys is when you look at, I don't really know the names great right now, but the black guy, the Imperial officer with those stormtroopers, the Mandalorian himself, and really every character we're introduced to, they're introduced and they're portrayed in a way that you can really feel that they've lived through an entire life and that they feel the weight of that life that they've lived. And I'll compare that to the sequel saga where, and I love it, don't not me talking bad on it, but like someone like Finn, like we get introduced to him, he goes from Stormtrooper, the good guy, and we don't really get anything about like what happened before that. Same with Rey, we see she's a scavenger, we don't really get to like, in a way we get to feel Rey more so than the other characters, and same with Kylo, but there's so many of them that you don't really feel that same weight to each one that you feel. And before you say it's just because it's a movie, I feel like Rogue One did it too, like from Jyn Erso, and Krennic, and just who were the freaking Force user guy? You know what I'm talking about. The guy who pulled out the staff and was whooping them. Like, I just can't think of his name right now. Anyway, I just felt like this really did a good job of just feeling like capturing that. But more into just the details of the episode, man. Like, I was not expecting us to be getting so much Mandalorian lore so quickly. I mean, he goes into that tunnel, wherever that is, underground, and there's just a ton of them. I mean, look, a whole bunch of Boba Fett's out there, and Jango's. I mean, it was crazy. I wasn't expecting to see something like that so early. And now that we have Disney Plus, we can now go back and watch Clone Wars. And I know there's some great arcs, of the Mandalorians and their culture in the Clone Wars and Rebels. I'm gonna have to find time. Sometime I have to find time to fit in Jedi Fallen Order and the Clone Wars and Rebels and all these stuff. I gotta somehow find a way to fit that all in. But like they just jumped right into that, and we're getting to see that, the Mandalorian, obviously he's a bounty hunter. It's a complicated profession. He's doing what he can do just to, to get them credit so he can get his fuel. And obviously you see that like the ramifications of the Empire, things aren't worth what they were, people that need their bounties taken care of, like, hey, we don't need it done cleanly. Like, there's no Empire. Like, yes, there's probably the New Republic, gathering somewhere, but like, you can do it dirty. We don't need it to be handled like a professional. So, you see him struggling, and that's what leads him to the ultimate prize of this episode. And it had been teased that there was some big spoiler revelation. I didn't have a way about which way I thought I was going to go, but as we all know now, that it's a baby Yoda. And I was just blown away by this. And, instantly my mind went so many places. And I've kind of tamed back a little bit. We'll get into that, but initially I was just thinking, they're talking about 50 years. I'm like, oh, I'm trying to map it out. Okay, 50 years. Like, where does that relate to like Han and Luke? And I'm figuring like, okay, that's older than Han and Luke. Like how? Because this is like roughly give or take 5 years after Return of the Jedi. I'm trying to map out who it could be, and I just couldn't figure it out. And it comes out to like it's Baby Yoda, and that brings up so many questions, man. The first place, theory-wise, my mind went was the Yoda line, but there's another, and there's always been speculation about what that was, who that was. I'm sure some of you guys in the comments can let me know exactly what he meant by that. But when I saw the Baby Yoda, I was like, oh, what if he knew about this Baby Yoda? Or maybe he was thinking, that was another. But anyway, after thinking more on it, I settled on just, I don't think we should get our expectations as far as what we want and need to see, because I was listening to a YouTuber about all this, and he seemed to have all these different ways, like he wanted specifically the story to go, like, I wanted to touch into the First Order this much and the prequels this much, but I don't really want to see that too much, and I'd rather see that. It's like, you gotta let this thing just play out. Like, this Yoda thing, it could be everything. It could be tied into the sequel saga and just him helping out, or just other Force sensitives helping out, and just all this kind of things tying into the sequel saga. Or this could be something that's resolved in the next 3 episodes, or by the end of the season, where he's either giving up for a bounty, or it's just kind of resolved more, just self-contained within the Mandalorian, and not just this grand scale thing. I'm excited for it too. Like, I think there's a lot to think about and speculate about what this little Yoda could mean. I mean, he's obviously a Force sensitive. They're after him. Like, some people want him dead, some want him alive. Like, what could this mean? Here I am thinking about all kind of crazy things that it could mean. If this is a Force sensitive in a capsule that's been held on this desert planet, like, where have we heard that before? So could that mean something? I don't know. I'm not saying it does, but it's just it just makes your mind go everywhere. It was a great episode for that, and it really just brought back that mystery. Like, that's really one of the things I think about with Star Wars now. When you compare Force Awakens to The Last Jedi, when you look at a show like this, like that mystery, like when I'm watching this, as soon as it starts getting revealed, oh, there's this bigger bounty, 50 years old. Like, I'm watching this episode, I'm like, man, like what is going on here? I'm seeing these Mandalorians. Like, it was awesome just to be in suspense. Like, what's about to happen? So again, I just thought this was a great episode to pull everyone in. I think it is probably a better episode for Star Wars fans than new ones. I'm not saying it wouldn't be great for new ones. I think it is actually great Star Wars content to throw at someone that hasn't been introduced to it. I think it's great for that. But for the long-time fans, there's so much there that's just going to pull you in and just have you thinking about what's to come. Like I said, I can't wait for Friday. But let's just close this out. Just kind of talking about just some things, so many references to things, that Ugnaughts what it's called. I've heard Ugnaught for so long, but now I know that is an Ugnaught. That little what do you say? I have spoken. That was a pretty dope line. Anyway, you guys, thanks for watching this video. This is gonna be an amazing show. I can't wait to review it each and every time with you guys. Please get in the comment section. Let me know what you guys are thinking about this. Type up what you thought about the episode, any theories you might have. Little Yoda, is he the chosen one? No, I'm just playing. But what's up with him? Is he gonna be self-contained within the Mandalorian, or is he gonna be a big part of what's happened before or after this? So I'm excited for it. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure to subscribe if you're new and like this video. A lot of people are gonna be making Mandalorian reviews, guys. So if you're with me, please like these videos. It really helps me out. I really mean that, and I appreciate each and every one of you. So thanks for watching, and I'll be back with you guys on Friday. All right.